Chapter 7. It is okay to have emotions and express them. Let your feelings speak. Don't suppress them. They are the route to true happiness. As I biked downhill from Alto del Perdon, I didn't use the brakes for around an hour, only pedaling at quite a high speed and passing cars. The downhill came to a stop at Puente de la Reina. This is a Spanish town that falls in Navarre, northern Spain. It's one of the most beautiful places I have ever been and has a special place in my heart. Exhausted, I went to park my bike. It jerked and suddenly hit a wall, and so did my head. Some locals came to help. One of the locals was an old man from Seville with his wife and a friend of his wife. They took care of me, bringing me water and sitting with me. After 15 minutes or so, the guy insisted I go into that church. My first thought was, this guy wants to steal my bike. So I said no. Then he waited for a few minutes and asked again if I wanted to go to church. Again, I'm thinking, this guy really likes my bike. But as we talked, he said to just go with him for a second. He took my hand and guided me. Entering, I felt great energy. But I was still concerned about the safety of my bike, so I immediately left. As I did, his wife was exiting the church, and he told her to watch my bike with her friend. At that moment, I told myself to calm down. No one would steal the bike. I asked her to watch it carefully as it was my only mode of transport and was meaningful to me. I went in. I sat down and prayed. Now, I'm not Christian, but a Druze. Druze is a lesser-known religion in the Middle East. It is monotheistic and quite neutral, but I have never been particularly attached to any one kind of worship. If you take me to church, I'll pray. If you take me to the mosque, I will pray. If you take me to the synagogue or a Buddhist temple, I will pray. I believe God is in everything. So I went on my knees and I prayed. The light of the candles flickering in the shrine, the people praying in peace, and the statue of Jesus all made me feel at home. I can't fully describe it, but something surreal, and I dare say even supernatural was happening to me. For me, someone or something called to me. Go on your knees, child. Go on your knees. You need this. It had been years since I truly expressed any kind of emotions. In that moment, I felt the weight of everything I suppressed. An emotional waterfall, a strong internal yet external feeling hit me. I couldn't control my emotions anymore. I was overwhelmed. I cried. I cried for an hour, and then I remembered that woman was still waiting outside for me to return. Had she not been waiting, I would have cried all day. But I was feeling bad, so I left the church, manning up, and wiped my tears. They gave me my bike, hugged me, and I cried again. This time on the streets, right outside of the church doors. People came to me and kept hugging me. And I kept crying. I stayed there for 3 hours and would have stayed longer, but as time passed, people left and I was all by myself. I was changed. I was completely different after these few hours. I looked up at the vast blue sky and I swear it felt like the weight of the world was off my shoulders. I was filled with wonder and comfort, and an innate knowing that, although I didn't know what tomorrow would bring, I was okay. Everything was going to be all right. What I love about that moment is that I let go of that macho bullshit that I learned as a kid. That idea that real men don't cry. I didn't care who saw. I was so true to myself in that moment. I felt so human, so real. I decided to never abandon that beautiful feeling for anything. We truly own our emotions, feelings, and bodies. Let your feelings speak. Don't suppress them. They are the route to true happiness. Laugh, cry, and love as much as you can. Never hold back. If real men don't cry, then fuck that shit, because this real man cries and feels and is not afraid to be vulnerable. Takeaway. Male or female, feel your feelings and be true to your emotions. Don't hold back.